On top of that chaotic evacuation for the weather during Salute 250, more than 700 people received medical attention, many of them related to that record-breaking heat. News 4's Paul Wagner joins us now live from the mall with more. Paul?
Well, Jim, and I'm on 3rd Street. The Capitol is just to my right, and behind me is the FIFA fan zone. That's going to remain in place for a little while. But as we went along the mall today, we could see a number of work crews that were already beginning to take structures down, taking down the fencing, opening up some of the streets, and removing those generators that were used for electricity on the mall. On the 4th of July, there were hundreds of people that went looking for medical attention because of the extreme heat. And I talked with D.C. Fire Chief John Donnelly today, and he told me that the plan that they put in place worked. As the sun beat down on the National Mall on the 4th of July, sending temperatures soaring to a record high 103 degrees, paramedics and EMTs found themselves very busy. It was not unexpected, as people suffering from dehydration or heat-related illnesses went looking for help. In some cases, they were carried off the mall on ice-covered gurneys, something D.C. Fire Chief John Donnelly said his first responders did all day.
Putting ice behind their neck, putting ice behind their knees and their armpits is one way. There's another, even more advanced way where we put them in a cooling bag with ice.
On the mall Saturday, D.C. Fire and EMS had 96 patient contacts and 40 transports. 603 people received first aid. As for arrests, D.C. police made 1 arrest on the mall, while U.S. Park Police made 3 arrests. When severe weather began approaching the city, the U.S. Secret Service says it called for an evacuation of the mall at 7 o'clock. If it seemed chaotic, it was. It took a while for the word to spread and for people to leave the secure zones. Crowds were not let back in after going through magnetometers until 9:30. Overall, D.C. Fire Chief John Donnelly says the planning paid off.
I'm not sure we didn't foresee anything, that everything that happened was predictable, and that our plan accommodated that. I think the number of people was exactly what we expected. The heat was what we expected. The storms were what we expected. So our plan worked.
For most of the mall, the structures put in place for the festivities are now coming down. The cleanup will take a while. The one exception is the Great American State Fair, which will remain in place along Madison and Jefferson Drives through July 11th. Now, to give you an example of what kind of a heavy lift this was for first responders, the chief told me today that they had to have as many as 1,000 D.C. Fire and EMS personnel work on the 4th of July. On a typical day here in the city, as they respond to emergencies, they typically have a staff of about 319. So there was a lot of people very, very busy on the 4th of July. That's the latest here from the mall, and back to you.
Working in the extreme heat, too.
Yeah.
All right, our Paul Wagner live for us tonight. Paul, thank you.